Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look back at the GTX 560. My card is the Gigabyte WindForce edition and it came out in May of 2011. It was £169, but now it can be found for about £15 to £30. I got mine for just £15 from a friend and I'm going to be putting through its paces, so stick around and enjoy the video. Now, let's get into the specs. My card comes with 1GB of GDDR VRAM clocked at 4008 MHz. The core has a core clock of 830 and a shader clock of 166 MHz. It has 336 CUDA cores, and it looks like it would be pretty good with those high clock speeds, but we're just gonna have to see later on in the benchmarks. First up, we have CSGO, which, because of limitations of the game, I can't use MSI Afterburner, so I just took the benchmark map. It was set to 1080p low, as I like it, and it achieved an average of 124 FPS, which is really respectable, and you can get some good CSGO gaming done on this card. New to the benchmarks is Rust. I've been playing a bit of this game recently, and it's quite fun, but it's quite demanding to run and doesn't get great frame rates, even on my personal 970. So I was quite surprised when on the 1080p on the lower settings it managed to achieve 44 FPS. The 0.1 and 1% lows were quite messed up for this, which is why they're not here. But this is quite a playable experience, and you could even bump the settings up to maybe quality preset 1 or 2 and still get around 40, 30 FPS. Next up, we have Rainbow Six Siege. It was set to 1080p, low settings, and got 60 FPS, with minimums of 15 FPS on the built-in benchmark map. I didn't only want to do this, so I tested the Lone Wolf game mode and got an average of 58 FPS, with 1% lows of 46 FPS, and 0.1% lows of 39 FPS. Pretty good showing for Rainbow Six. Here we have Steep. This is it running at 720p all low. Here it got 29 FPS on average with minimums of 18 on the built-in benchmark. And I tried at 1080p, but it was quite unplayable with average of 20 FPS and minimums of 11 FPS. So I would be sticking to 720p with this game. Now here's Splitgate. This is probably one of the best games, as it is more of a competitive game, so it's not too hard to run, but at 1080p medium settings, I got an average of 77 FPS, with 1% lows of 56 FPS and 0.1% lows of 50 FPS. This is a really good showing, because with the 560, it creams the GTX 745, a much newer GPU. Now, Dirt Rally 2. I tested this by doing a couple maps, and I found that it didn't run very well on anything except low, but it looks like garbage on low. So I decided to put the textures up to high and the shaders up to high as well. So it was 1080p, low preset, but with shaders and textures on high, and that made it look pretty okay. And here it averaged 30 FPS, with 1% lows of 25 FPS and 0.1% lows of 21 FPS. It's kind of a bit slow, but very playable. So, what do I think of the 560? Well, it's a pretty decent GPU, and with the crazy prices that the world are right now, I think if you're on a really, really tight budget, like under £100 or under like £50, then I would say you could go for it. It's good enough to play most older, not brand new, but still relatively intensive games with playable frame rates, and it's a good. I think it's a nice looking card, and it's just a all round okay deal if you can find it for £15. Any more than that, and it's a bit questionable value. But yeah, as always, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.